So Jackpot for me was good, I guess. I think the film was a good action comedy film. However, it didn't do what Deadpool and Wolverine did, let's be honest. I think that action comedy genre now has been taken to a whole new notch with Deadpool and Wolverine. And nothing's ever going to be funny again thanks to that film. Thank you, Deadpool and Wolverine. Because this just felt mediocre compared to that. Yes, this felt like an R-rated comedy, but it didn't have the X factor to be anything. I think that's the Amazon Prime rub on this. Like, it's okay, you've got a good story, but they don't quite reach the levels that they possibly could with this story, or the actors weren't quite right, or something didn't quite fit. And I think that's what would have taken it to that next level. But the actual story of lottery winners then being hunted down like the fucking Purge just felt like something that I was really into. And especially at the start of the film when we saw Sean William Scott being chased down the fucking street, that was quite entertaining. And I think that Sean William Scott, though, got the rough end of the deal, because I think that he should have been a bigger part of the film, because after I saw Sean William Scott running down the street, I was like, that's your film right there. That's your film of basing it on that guy. So I think that they missed an opportunity to have that guy as either your main character or to work with the other two to make the film funnier, because he's a comedy genius at times. Because when you watch Role Models, when you watch American Pie, he and his character could have been detrimental to the success of this movie, and I think he could have gone other levels with Sean William Scott playing a major role. However, he was at the start of the film, and it's one of those. Selfishly, I wanted him in all the way through. I think that the story of Katie winning the lottery out of nowhere, and then suddenly she doesn't find out she's won the lottery until she starts getting hunted down like the fucking Purge. And when that starts to happen, you're seeing that she's just instinct survival and things like that. And her job then is to last 24 hours with the money to keep the money. And to me, I thought that was a good idea, because it did mix two different kinds of things. I know we mentioned it before, but it's like the Purge and somebody winning the lottery. That is genius. That is money right there. However, they don't quite get that X factor to take it on. It's weird, because I think that the John Cena and Awkwafina sort of chemistry sort of worked, and I think that sort of gelled. However, I don't necessarily think the whole film worked around them two. I think they needed somebody else in there, and it was great, like them bringing in Machine Gun Kelly and all these other little things like that, but I think it would have been better to build something else in there, something different in there, because I did like the Noel and Katie chemistry building throughout the film, because at the start of the film and the character development sides of things, they didn't know each other, they'd never heard of each other, and then they suddenly come together because he wants to help Awkwafina keep her money, just as an incentive of he gets 10%, I think that it was, and then they suddenly become like a team. But it takes time for the trust to build and whatever. That was something that was interesting. On the villains, I think that the villains felt like everybody was a villain, and I'm right in thinking that, because anybody could come up to you and stab you and take your money and whatever. So everyone was technically the villain, but if you're focusing on one, it was probably Louis Lewis. And he was predictable all the way through, because as soon as you saw the billboard with him on, you was like, oh my god, that guy looks dodgy as fuck, and he's going to be the main villain. There's something about that where you just went, no, don't know about that guy. And I think straight away off the bat that you knew that he was going to come into it later down the line as sort of like maybe a saviour, and that's what happened. He was sort of like, oh, we're going to save you, we're going to take here just a percentage of your lottery winnings. However, then he just wanted to take all the money by killing the two. And I think that weren't a bad idea, and in principle worked and made him look a little bit evil, and because he'd done it before. He had like a whole wall of winners that had gone into that thinking that they would be safe and being killed by this guy, and I think that weren't a bad idea. But then the ending just sort of falls flat on its face a little bit, because you lose everything by then. You're just a little bit fed up of the film, or the idea's gotten a bit old and gotten a bit stale, because it's not like a normal film where you get a bit of action, then a load of good storytelling of that, maybe just two characters talking between themselves while the chaos is elsewhere, or the chaos is not present, and you get a moment between the actors and actresses to show their acting ability. You only had really one scene where they were stuck in the escape room where that happened. There weren't many of those sequences throughout the film. There was one, and that was to take a break from the action and the comedy side of things. But there weren't anything around that, and I think that's what the movie lacked, and I think that's why the ending fell flat on its face. It was predictable as shit, of Katie walking away with the dough and going with John Cena's character on a fucking holiday cruise thing, whatever. Before we jump back into this video, guys, please do us a massive favour and smash that subscribe button, because you do not want to miss a thing this week, next week, and the week after, because we've got tons and tons of content planned for you guys, and you can do us a massive favor by smashing that subscribe button, joining the community, getting updates to all the latest videos, from the YouTube shorts to the actual videos. It is well worth it, completely free, and you will not regret it. So to summarize Jackpot then, for me, he's a 6.9 out of 10. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments down below. Good, bad, terrible, amazing. If you haven't seen it, let us know down in the comments down below, and go and watch it. I'd tell you to go watch it, and then let me know your thoughts down in those comments down below. And also, if you're still in the mood for more action comedy, we've mentioned it several times today, check out our Wolverine and Deadpool movie review right now.